Today, we're going to be hitting a Tombstone piledriver in every mainline WWE game with some caveats here and there. So let me explain the rules of this challenge. So here are the rules. Number 1, I have to hit a Tombstone. Self-explanatory. Rule 2, I have to win the match as well. Rule 3, it has to be on Legend difficulty because this is a challenge. This isn't like for, weenies, okay? This is a real challenge. And the fourth rule of this challenge is that after every other game, we spin a wheel with all the other games the Undertaker's in, and we play that game as the Undertaker trying to hit a Tombstone piledriver. Now, Undertaker's in a lot, so this wheel is massive. What games will we play, and can we accomplish this without losing my mind? Let's find out. The first game of this challenge is SmackDown 1. Our first opponent is The Big Show, and it's kind of hard to beat his ass. He just spams a choke throw over and over and over again. Oh no, not again. Oh no, not again, for fuck's sake. He gets his finisher and I get KO'd by a choke slam. No, 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 not this way, no. The big, KO. I got knocked out. Nice, first L. So we rerun it and our second opponent is the Big Boss Man. He put up a great fight, but I get the Tombstone in and I win via KO. There it is, the Tombstone! Yes! We hit it! Big Tombstone! And that's it! I'll give a rating for each game afterwards, so I'm going to give SmackDown 1 like a 7 out of 10. I think that's fair. The next game is SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. I have a bias towards this game because this is my first wrestling game I ever played on my PlayStation 2. So, I am biased, and it is a great game, but oh my god, going back to it and playing it again on the hardest difficulty was a nightmare. This game is hard. It is. We play through the match struggling against Stevie Richards, and then something unexpected happens. Wait a minute! Bull Buchanan! What the hell? Wait a minute. This isn't right. Yeah, Bull Buchanan came out and tried to whip my ass and help Stevie win. However, in the end, I'd actually pick up another L after I get rolled up of death by Stevie Richards, so I used my last try, but I couldn't. No! No! Oh! And then this happens. The fuck? What happened? Oh my god, Stevie Richards just tumbled to the outside. So we played through a third time. This time we're taking on Val Venus, and we end up hitting the Tombstone and getting the win. So we rectify our 2 L's. And now let's move on to the next game. Oh yeah, one more thing. SmackDown 2, I give a 8.5 out of 10. It's better than SmackDown 1, but it's still kind of rough around the edges. So we spin the wheel for the first time, and it lands on WWF No Mercy. And you might be thinking, wow, that's great. Well, because of the rules of this challenge, this went from like oh wow, this is gonna be a fun time to oh my god, I hate this fucking game. Let's just show it, because Aki games are not pick up and play like the SmackDown games. These games are rough. One. Well, that's it. We didn't hit a Tombstone, so yeah. We beat Grandmaster Sexay, but we didn't get the Tombstone in, so we had to redo it. Next opponent was Lita, and for being a woman, she was a real pain in the ass to beat. Holy moly. But don't fret, because we got some interference to deal with. Yay! Wait a minute, what the hell? Trish Stratus! Maybe, is she gonna help me? Yes! Even with some interference that kind of helped me, we still weren't able to pick up the win, unfortunately. She just blocks everything! That's it. No, that'll do it. No. 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 Kidding me? Our final opponent was Jeff Hardy, and we were able to hit the Tombstone, and we finished him off with the last ride, so yay. Thank God, because this game was just, ugh. Hit it! Last ride! It's over! Oh my god, bro. I know I lost like one time, but that was incredibly stressful. Oh yeah, one more thing. What do I rate No Mercy? Now, I don't have a bias towards this game, so I'm honestly going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's still a goated wrestling game, but it's not my favorite, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's Just Bring It time, and our first opponent is Lita. Uh-oh. Well, Lita does pretty well against us. But fortunately, we got some backup. Wait a minute, it's Kane! It's Kane! Oh no! And the Brothers of Destruction pound Lita into submission. Wait, that seems fucked up. However, we don't hit the Tombstone, so we have to try again. The next match is a tables match against Kane, and let's just say I underestimated how fast this thing would go. Come on. What are the odds, right? Come on. You're not gonna put me through the table. Yeah, brain fart moment, I know. So we have to go again, and the third match is against Vince McMahon himself in a ladder match. Oh, geely gollers. After pounding Vince's ass with Moppy, Kane is back. Wait a minute, it's Kane! Again! And we go on to beat Vince McMahon for 3 minutes straight or something like that. Even though Kane takes a few blows himself. Oh god, Kane, I'm sorry. Alright. Oh, Kane, I'm sorry. But we do hit the Tombstone piledriver. There it is, the Tombstone! We did it! Eat shit! Woo! And after beating on Vince, we win by grabbing the belt. Rating for this game, I give a 6 out of 10. It's a fun game, but it's kind of disappointing, to be honest. It's SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, so our first opponent is Albert. We hit the Tombstone pretty much immediately right off the bat, but then I realized it was on normal difficulty, so we had to reset that. Anyways, the next opponent we have is Edge, and, well, he's kind of a bitch to deal with. But we get the Tombstone in. Oh, we did it! Alright, we got the Tombstone. Down he goes. Ooh! Tombstone! And despite a close call with him nearly beating us, we win via the last ride. So, the rating, I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to give this game a 10 out of 10. Incredible game that doesn't get as much praise as it should, at least in comparison to Here Comes the Pain. So we spin the wheel once again of all these games, and it lands on Raw 2 on the Xbox. If you don't remember this game, yeah, it came out like 2003 on the original Xbox. And it was kind of okay, I guess, but we'll get into the rating later. Our first match was against Kane. I don't know why Kane keeps popping up so many times, but regardless. So I'm just trying to get a feel for the game to see how it is. However, we get into a bit of an issue. You see, at the end of the match, around like the 5 or 6 minute mark, we get on the ground and Kane just pins us over and over and over again. To the point where, because I can't recover whatsoever, I just have to keep getting pinned by this goober, and I just gave up. I'm like, alright, screw it. You know what, I'm just going to throw. Because I just got stuck in an infinite loop, so that was great. So we have to reboot and go for our second match of the run, and it's against Tommy Dreamer, who is kind of a surprise pick in this game. Because of how since I never played Raw 2 before, I have to pause the game and try to figure out how to like do moves, like finishers and stuff, because I have no idea what the controls are, so. After looking it up, we were able to hit not only the last ride, but the Tombstone piledriver as well. Honestly, I probably hit a bit too many tombstones. Like I think I hit like 15 on poor Tommy Dreamer. But it was a tables match and I couldn't figure out how to put him to the table, so I just decided to call it and just restart. And now we have a third match, this time against Crash Holly. For some reason I decided to quit. I don't know why I quit, but I guess I got annoyed with the game because the game started to kind of irritate me with its like mechanics and stuff. So now we're on to our fourth match against Christopher Nowinski. And after all that time, we finally were able to put down Chris Nowinski and finish off Raw 2. What do I give the game? I give the game a 5 out of 10. I might be a bit low, but honestly, this game is just pretty mediocre. I'm sorry. Next game is Here Comes the Pain. So, we're going to be fighting Triple H with a 90 overall. Oh boy. He starts out as a problem for us. He's pretty tough and counters everything because it's on Legend. But our overall is able to even the playing field. So we hit the Tombstone piledriver. Bam! Tombstone. You have to keep battling him for a bit. However, it looks to be the end of the run, or at least the reset, as Triple H hits his dastardly pedigree. But a miracle occurs. It's so GG's. It's GG's off. Well, that's it. I gotta get a miracle. Yes! The rope break! Yep, a rope break saved the day. And after struggling again, and Triple H proving how much of an ass he is, We hit a DDT on a Triple H that actually wins the match. I can't believe it, but we got the lucky win over the game. And overall, I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, it's Here Comes the Pain. It's a legendary wrestling game. But, yeah, it's just a legendary game. Go play it if you haven't. Got it. It's SmackDown versus Raw. Our opponent is Hardcore Holly. Ah, yes, an absolute all-timer right here. And due to legend difficulty, Bob would counter a lot. It was kind of a pain. We finally grind enough to hit a Tombstone pile driver, but he kicked out of that. So after beating Bob's butt for like another few minutes or so, another Tombstone and Hardcore's night. Rating, I give this like a 7 out of 10. A huge step down from Here Comes the Pain, but not a bad game, just kind of average to good. So we spin the wheel a third time, and it lands on Day of Reckoning 2 on the GameCube. Ooh, this is a good one. I love this game. It's really fun, and it's one I grew up playing as a kid. It's a great game choice, but this game is, hard. Like, it's like the Aki games in terms of difficulty. It is brutal. So, our first opponent is, of course, Rob Van Dam, and we had some issues. Throw him up, and throw him. Oh god, there's a stamina system. Ugh. Stop beating my ass. Oh god, no. No. No! It's over. That's it, it's done. Wow. Holy sh... Oh my god, dude. So yeah, we got squashed in like 3 minutes against RVD, which was kind of rough, but so we gotta recover. Second opponent is Shawn Michaels. God. And he's got a high-ass overall, too, to boot. Despite us getting into the Tombstone piledriver, Shawn was even harder and beat my ass because he freaking countered everything. And he finished me off after hitting the sweet chin music. Damn. Done. That's it. That'll do it. Again, not great, but we're trying to learn, okay? Now we're on to the third opponent, and we're trying to hopefully hope for someone that's easier. Oh, it's Chavo Guerrero. His overall is kind of ass, so surely this is going to be the one where we finally win, right? Well... Dude! What the fuck? God damn it. Yeah, no. Yeah, we lost to Chavo Guerrero. But now, after 3 failed attempts, I'm ready to lock in, and I'm going to fight William Regal. It was a tough battle between us, but after the first Tombstone, we were able to get a lucky miracle, and we were able to squeeze in a second one to finish off William Regal and get the win. Tombstone! I got a second one! It worked! Yeah! Oh, let's go! So my rating for this game, I give it 9 out of 10. Day of Reckoning 2 is an incredible game. It is a very, very good wrestling game. It doesn't get talked about as much, but it is still fantastic, and I recommend playing it if you can. The next game that we're doing is SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, a personal favorite of mine. And we randomized our opponent, and it's going to be Torrie Wilson. Ooh, with the 57 overall. Oh man, this should be easy, right? And for some reason, the fans are booing Torrie Wilson. I mean, I knew wrestling fans were just misogynistic. I knew it. They've always has been, always will. Don't take this seriously. This is a joke. Well, despite Torrie's low overall, she counters quite a bit. She's on legend difficulty, so maybe... Oh my god. The commentary is... Dude! What is this? Man, this AI... What the f... Come on! Are you shitting me? Who the f is this? Kurt Angle? In fact, a lot. But being a featherweight, which is like the lowest division possible, and going against a super heavyweight, makes this a bunch easier. A little bit easier. And despite Torrie Wilson putting on a good performance, we are able to finish her off with the Tombstone, and look at the damage. Oh my god. Look how much I took compared to her. Yeah. So we win! Yay! Rating. My rating is a 9.5 out of 10. This is an amazing game, and I wish the gameplay loop was kept for future titles, because I love the gameplay loop. It's an amazing game. Go play it. It's SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, another goated game with an insanely great OST. It's fantastic. Regardless, we move on to figuring out who our opponent is, and it's going to be Edge. So, harder? Sure. Fun fact, if you actually play as the WWE Champion in this game, you can actually spin the centerpiece around, which is kind of cool. Just hold the R trigger and you can spin that thing like crazy. Well, unsurprisingly, Edge was a pain. But we pulled out the win eventually, even though there was, well, a poor casualty. God rest his soul. Whee! Oh no, the ref! Oh, he's got a tummy ache. Yeah, the ref took a rough bump. Ouch. But we were able to get the win with the Tombstone pile driver, and I feel like these games are getting easier. Like, I used to be struggling a lot more, now it's just like easy peasy, kinda. Rating, 9 out of 10. Great game, but I think it's a little bit overrated. It's still a great wrestling game, just kind of overrated in my opinion. Alright, it's time to spin the wheel of games, and it lands on Royal Rumble 1993 on the Super Nintendo. Oh boy, we're going real retro here, huh? Well, a game way before my time. Our first opponent is Nature Boy Ric Flair, and I have no idea how to play it. I don't know the controls or anything, so I'm just struggling here. I rely mainly on striking, but that doesn't get me the win as Nature Boy picks up a big W against me. Bro, just pin me for sake. There. 1, 2, 3. So our next opponent is against Yokozuna, which he looks awful. He does not even look close to Yokozuna. Like, look at these two. It's like, it's terrible. Surprisingly, I actually win, but I don't really hit the Tombstone, and you know what? I just kind of gave up on that dream. I am not going to be able to hit a Tombstone in this old-ass game, so... And then after that, we play another match. I don't know who we fought. I think we fought, like, Lex Luger or something. And then we decided to play one more match. The Royal Rumble itself, because that's the title, you know? And it went as well as you expect it would go for me. Am I going to get hit again? Oh, I'm out. That's it for me. Well, that's it. Run's over. Rating, I give it a 5 out of 10. Nothing special, but I won't be too critical of it due to its age. Now we're at SVR 08. Ugh. And I'm going to be blunt. I don't like this game. Like, really at all. I don't like this. It's got a great soundtrack, but, I mean, that's not going to save this ass. But, let's just go into the game. So our opponent is CM Punk, who has a 92 overall in 2007 somehow. Unfortunately, I forgot to change difficulty like an idiot, so I had to reset. So we had to go back again. We re-rolled, and John Cena is our new opponent, with the highest overall in the game, probably. It seemed like it'd be a pretty difficult match, right? Well, if you thought that, incorrect. This game operates on baby mode. This game is easy. No difficulty whatsoever. Like, it is massively easier than any of the other previous games. We Tombstone John Cena, and that's it. That's way too easy. You can get momentum like super quick too. So it's just like, for some reason, this game is much easier than its predecessors. Rating, I guess I'm gonna be bold here. I'm gonna give this game a 3 out of 10. Yeah, it sucked donkey balls. All right, this game was terrible. I hate it. You know what? I'm just going to let myself describe everything about why I dislike this game, so take it away, me. I did not like this game, especially coming from SVR07. Everything about this game was worse. Season mode is worse. GM mode is worse. The gameplay is worse. The fighting styles don't add anything. What the fuck did this game do right? Nothing. Yeah, hopefully the next game's better. It's not. Next game is SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, another mediocre wrestling game. So we pick our random opponent, and it's Carlito. And just like in SVR 08, this game was easy peasy. Like, this shit was easy. It was like baby mode once again. Even though it took a few tombstones to beat Carlito, we squashed him pretty easily. Like, Undertaker's entrance lasted longer than the actual match. So, rating, I give this a 4 out of 10. It's the same game as SVR 08. It took away the fighting systems, thank God, and it cleaned up some of the mechanics, but Road to WrestleMania is the main selling point of this game, and after that, you just drop it. Like, this game's kind of worthless after that. So it's time to spin the wheel again, and it lands on WrestleMania 18 on the GameCube. Going in, I really had no expectations of this game, but this game was brutally annoying. The AI was crazy hard, and the clunky gameplay made this a very difficult challenge. So our first opponent was Christian, and it didn't go very well at all for us. Even when I hit my finisher, I couldn't do enough damage to him to keep him down for the 3, so I never win. And then we lost. After losing to Christian, my second fight was against Albert, and despite hitting like 15 Tombstone pile drivers or something, it still didn't work out, and I lost again. And after a few more tries of trying to win and losing, I gave up on winning and just took the L. I did hit my 50 or so Tombstone pile drivers, so that was good, I guess. It's fine enough for me. Rating, I give this a 5 out of 10. Gameplay loop is there, but it's just boring as hell. And I know I'm rating this game above SVR 09 or 08, which is insane. But no, those games came out a lot later, so they really didn't have as much of an excuse for being shit. Next game is SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. An improvement over the previous two stinkers, thank God. Our opponent ends up being Mark Henry, and the match, it was easy. It's not like, you know, as easy as the previous ones, but it was a bit easy, in my opinion. There is a new kickout system that was implemented, which was nice, since I didn't have to button mash anymore. But yeah, we hit the Tombstone, and that's it for Mark Henry. But we do get a surprise visitor after the match. Wait a minute! It's Vladimir Kozlov! What is he doing in the Impact Zone? Yeah, Kozlov missed his cue, I think, but we won because of it. So good job, Kozlov, in your whitey tighties. Rating. I give this an 8 out of 10. A huge improvement from the previous games in SVR 08 and 09 in every way. Massive improvement. So good on THQ. Next game is SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, a fan favorite, but growing up, I didn't really care much for this game. I know, controversial take maybe. I also realized I had all the DLC for the most part, which is pretty cool, I guess. I mean, who doesn't want to play as Rey Mysterio in, like, skull gear? That's pretty sick. So we randomize our opponent, and we get to fight Terry Funk, the Funkster. And just for fun, we added some managers, Paul Bearer on our side, and Hornswoggle? Yeah, Hornswoggle and Terry Funk. What a great combo, right? Terry Funk put up a good fight, and he was able to counter quite a bit of moves, which is what the AI usually do on the hardest difficulty. It's harder than the previous games, I think, but not by much. And I was able to get a win with the Tombstone pile driver, just like always. Disappointed in no Hornswoggle appearance, but yeah, we pick up the win. The rating, I give this game a 9 out of 10. It's a great wrestling game and a great way for the SmackDown vs. Raw series to go out. Like, there's no better way. It's probably one of the better ones. Like, out of, like, SVR 06, 7, and 11, I mean, take your pick. So we spin the wheel and it lands on Superstars 2. What the fuck is that? Well, it's apparently a game released on the Game Boy. No, not that one. Older. Yeah, that. Console came out like in the 1990. So we played it and it was something, I guess. Ah, leave me alone. I don't know how to play this dumb game. Stop it. Whoa, look at that. Big slam. Undertaker, you know how to get up? Whee! Okay, there you go. There's your game. Rating, I gave a 3 out of 10, I guess, because it's just way too old for me, and I don't feel like, you know, I feel like rating it too harshly is just kind of non-existent. So, but due to how little footage we got of this game, I decided to respin. And we got Day of Reckoning 1. Oh no, God. Well, our first opponent is, god damn it, it's Kurt Angle. Oh no. Who has a 90 overall and has high technical ability. Great. Why is this bad? Well, that means he's just gonna counter everything. And because of that, he beat our ass, because he fucking countered everything. And then he mercifully finished us off with an ankle slam. Great. Alright, well, that was fun. Thanks, Kurt. The next opponent is John Cena, which seems bad on paper because he's got probably a high overall as well. But surprisingly, we pulled out a big clutch win and beat Cena with 1 tombstone in 3 minutes. Like, awesome, because I thought I was going to be here for like an hour trying to beat the AI. Rating, I give an 8 out of 10. A huge step up from the previous game in Mania 19, and it was a foundation point that would lead to, well, Day of Reckoning 2. The next game on the list is WWE 12, and I have a lot of fond memories with this game. Well, kind of. One of my memories is that I joined an online call fed that ended in it dying due to older men having big egos, so that was something. It was my first time playing Universe mode, and I had a bunch of CAWs, so I went through them and to look at them to see how cringe they were, and yeah, these are some of the CAWs that we had. Alright, enough reminiscing, it's time to get to the challenge. Our random opponent is Kane, but I forgot to change the difficulty, so we had to re-roll. Oops. And we got Zack Ryder as our new opponent. The difficulty in this game feels a bit harder than previous entries, but due to Zack Ryder's jobber status, we get the win with the Tombstone. I mean, he put up a good fight, but yeah, the Tombstone was able to put him down. Rating, I give this an 8 out of 10. A bit of a downgrade from the previous entry, but still a solid game, although this is when the games started to become a bit more buggy. Next game, WWE 13. The game that introduced the showcase type mode in this series, an Attitude Era mode. So we have to randomize our character or opponent, and it ends up being the world's most dangerous man. Now, of course, because I'm so smart, I didn't take him too seriously at first. I was like, it'll be fine. But he proved to me why he's the most dangerous man in the world. And he countered into a T-bone. That was cool shit. German suplex. God damn. German suplex. Oh my god. Pile driver. I don't know if that'll do it, but will this be the end? 1. What the fuck? Yeah, we lost via submission, and for some reason, the developers, they changed the submission system to a button mashing fest. Great job, Ukes. You're so awesome. I love this company. Ugh. So we reset and start over. And our opponent is Kurt Angle. God crap. Kurt Angle, the guy with like the super high, countering stats on Legend difficulty. What could possibly go wrong? But after a tough match, we won with the Tombstone Piledriver. I think it was like the second or third one. I can't remember. And we beat his ass. Here it comes, Tombstone. Pile driver. Rest in peace, Kurt Angle. That's it. Just like that. The rating, I give this an 8.5 out of 10. An improvement over WWE 12, but not the legendary title that we were wanting. That's for next year. Alright, it's time to spin the wheel, and it lands on WrestleMania 2000. Another Aki game. Great, right? Well, no, because this fucking sucked. Any Aki-like game is insanely hard for some reason. Like, this was the hardest game of all of them I've played. Alright? But our first opponent was Albert. And you might be thinking, wow, it's Albert. He's a jobber, isn't he? It didn't go well at all. Stop. What are you doing? There. What the What are you doing, geek? Alright, next match is against X-Pac, and I lost again. In the third match, I would think I was fighting D'Lo Brown or something. I got so upset at the end that I quit mid-match, and I had to take a break because I was so mad. I've never gotten this heated in a wrestling game before. So after taking a day off, we came back to this game and fought Triple H, and even lowering the difficulty, this was still a tough match. We pulled out the win despite having to go in to try-hard gamer mode for it. We still won in the end with the Tombstone. Rating, I give this game an 8.75. A really good wrestling game, but difficulty rating, I give a 10 out of 10. That gets a 10 out of 10 for me, brother. Fuck this game. Alright, next up is a good one. It's WWE 2K14. After reminiscing on the nostalgia of this game for a bit, we go in to pick The Undertaker, and our opponent ends up being Ryback. Yeah, Ryback. Remember him? Remember this goober? Well, unfortunately, for some godforsaken reason, Ryback has a 90 overall in this game. And that would turn out to be a massive problem for us. I do too. Oh, God. Ryback got me. Oh, my neck. I mean, Fuck! Oh! Kidding me? So after struggling against Ryback, we took the big L after getting slammed on the mat a few times, and I couldn't figure out how to kick out because the pin is weird. So we lost to Ryback. You know, that's great. You know. All right, time for another reset, and it ends up being Justin Gabriel's our opponent. Okay, well this shouldn't be too hard, and it wasn't because we beat him in 4 minutes and finished him off with a tombstone. Easy peasy. See, this is what happens. Just fight like jobbers in the game, not super OP Ryback. Rating, I give this a 10 out of 10. Yeah, that might be a bit high, especially compared to like Here Comes the Pain and stuff, but this is a great wrestling game and it's an all-timer and it's the perfect way for THQ to end it. Alright, next game is WWE 2K15, but not on the PlayStation 4. No, this is the Xbox 360 version of the game, so if you're not happy with that, too bad, I guess. Alright, it's time to pick the Undertaker after reminiscing on this game, and we randomize our opponent, who ends up being the Ultimate Warrior. Fuck. Why? Well, because he's got a high overall, and I just don't like the Ultimate Warrior. He just sucks, okay? He's terrible. Like, Warrior worked a better match in this game than he's ever done in his entire career, so just countering everything I throw at him and, you know, hitting a bunch of big moves, great. At the end of the match, I get so close, but we lose. After we failed to counter a move and he does the big splash. He ends the Undertaker for the round and that's it. Ultimate Warrior sucks. Alright, back to resetting. Our next opponent ends up being Victor of the Ascension. Yeah, remember them? Well, you know, back in 2015 they were actually somewhat relevant, or 2014. Victor's moveset is completely busted, especially his finishers and signatures. They're just insanely easy to hit and quick. So he just beats me up for a while. And after a back and forth counter fest between the two of us, I get the second Tombstone piledriver in for the 3. And we beat Victor, and that is the end of it. Rating, I give the Xbox 360 version of 2K15 a 7.5 out of 10. It's 2K14, but worse, by taking out certain modes like Story Designer, no career mode, etc. But the gameplay is fun, so that's cool. The next game is that we're on the next gen. It's WWE 2K16 on the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately, I lost my original save file, so I had to make a new one, which is, yeah, it's cool. Our first opponent is Fit Finley with hair. I mean, yeah, look at that thing. That is an incredible hairstyle. Like, my god. Legendary. A few minutes into the match, the least surprising thing ever happened. Other than, like, the only thing I remember Fit Finley... Huh! Well, that's interesting. Yep, the game crashed. Womp womp. After getting the game back up and running, we came back and fought Neville. Yep, Neville was our next opponent, who ended up being quite a challenge, more so due to everyone's favorite mechanics in 2K games, stamina. Basically, I kept getting... Every time I did a move, I got super exhausted and Undertaker could barely move. He was moving around like it was like 2017. But in the end, one more Tombstone piledriver ended Neville, and we won in a difficult match. Great. Rating, I give an 8 out of 10. I really like this game, and it's one of 2K's better games. Despite having a miserable, terrible career mode, it's still a fine game. WWE 2K17 is our next game, where the series nosedived a bit. So, we picked The Undertaker, and our random opponent ends up being John Cena, the greatest of all time. And despite his, you know, insanely high overall, this was a complete and utter squash. A match is lopsided as well, you know. That's it. We won with the Tombstone piledriver, a second one, and that was it. That's literally the match. It's kind of short, but I just kind of want to skip this game. This game kind of sucks. Rating... 5 out of 10. A huge downgrade from 2K16, and it felt like a real filler game. Other than like the addition of promos and career mode somehow getting even worse. So good job 2K. Oh, they took out Showcase as well, so good. So it's time to spin the wheel for our next game, and it lands on WWF Attitude, a PS1 game before the Aki and Yuke WWE games were made. And these games are bad, but more on that later. This game is also weird, and no, it's not just because of the weird pre-match speeches.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Be prepared to be buried alive.
Damn, Taker, I didn't know you could write poems like that. That's really good. Good job. It also controls like ass. But Taker's entrance actually is really cool, so that's something. Our opponent is, of course, the Lethal Weapon himself, Steve motherfucking Blackman, the man, the myth, the legend, and I proceeded to play like complete crap. I resorted to just punching him, and I won. I didn't hit the Tombstone Piledriver because it's too convoluted. Like, you literally have to go through an entire manual to see how you do moves like Mortal Kombat, so screw that. In the rating, I give a 3 out of 10. While aesthetically it looks fine for its time, gameplay-wise, freaking sucks. And it's a chore to get through. It's a miserable game. It's not the worst wrestling game, but it's not fun at all. The next game is WWE 2K18, and another game I don't really care for. Undertaker's entrance is much longer, like, holy shit, dead man, get your ass to the ring. And our opponent ends up being The Rock, and I had a feeling this guy was going to be kind of rough, and he was. After a Tombstone Piledriver, he kicks out of it. So I decided to punch the referee in the head because fuck him, he sucks at counting. And after another Tombstone, The Rock kicks out a second time, and then he gets us with the Spine Buster to win the match. So then we tried against our demon brother Kane. Rather than being an ally helping us beat up Vince McMahon, he's an enemy. And we beat him easily after a Tombstone Piledriver. Rating 6 out of 10. Better than 2K17, but still a meh game. WWE 2K19, a game that stuck around far longer than any other probably in history. First off, the white screen. Holy crap, who thought a white screen was a great idea, you know? Worst UI in the series. However, this would be an incredibly difficult challenge. For some reason, this game is the hardest of them all, which would lead to loss after loss after loss after loss after devastating loss. 5 times I lost to these CPUs somehow. They were on a completely different level. But I knew that I was getting better at this game. And our 6th opponent, Drew Gulak, gave me the drive, the confidence to finish off 2K19. One more Tombstone Piledriver to Drew Gulak that connects, and it's over. With an insane 5 resets, this game surprised me with its difficulty. Rating, 8.5 out of 10. A great game that I feel is a tad bit overrated due to, well, the next game, which we're going to get into soon. So we spin the wheel, and it lands on the infamous game for me, Legends of WrestleMania on the Xbox 360. Remember my criticisms of SVR09? Yeah, well, they took that game, added a retro coat of paint, and made it worse somehow. Anyways, our opponent ends up being Jesse. But we forgot to change the difficulty, and after re-rolling, Rick Rude is our new challenger. I get wrecked by tutorials everywhere, but I win and also win the Intercontinental Championship. Nice. Unfortunately, I didn't hit the Tombstone, so we re-rolled and fought Animal this time. And I lost. So, re-roll number 3, and then something unexpected happens. The game freezes, and I have to restart my Xbox. But then, when I boot it back up, the disc is unrecognized, and after much troubleshooting, the disc just doesn't work anymore. So, the game is now dead. Goodbye, Legends of WrestleMania. You will not be missed. Rating, I give this game a 3.5 out of 10. A great roster and a great, aesthetic, but it's bogged down by shit gameplay and okay-ish modes. And really annoying with the quick time events too. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised I'm giving it a higher rating than SVR08, but 08 was kind of even worse. So, alright, the next game is WWE 2K20, and wait a minute, this isn't 2K20. What is going on here? Well, 1, I don't have the game because I never bought it, and 2, screw that game. So, we're playing a modded version of Wrestling Empire Forever by Mindrin. Wrestling Empire Forever. Undertaker is going to fight Vince McMahon again, who wants his revenge from Just Bring It, and Kane is back too. Ah yes, we're recreating the good old days of Just Bring It, huh? in an exploding dynamite death match. What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything. We got coffins. I think coffins are on the outside. Oh my god! Puck! Are you okay? 2. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! Good lord! This match is insane! CM Punk is more wounded than everybody else. Well, we get to the end of the match, and Taker counters a suplex into a Canadian Destroyer, and then wins with a dynamite attack. He just punches him with dynamite and covers him for the 3. Insane ending to an insane match. Rating, I mean, come on. Is it really obvious? W2K20 is a 1 out of 10. Like, come on. I don't want to give it 0 because it did improve, but I mean, it's 2K20. It's 1 out of 10. Like, what the As for the mod, Wrestling Empire Forever, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's actually a really, really good mod, and I recommend it. I'll link the links to his channel in the description so you can grab it. Well, it's time for 2K22, the reboot of the series after the disaster that was 2K20. Our opponent ends up being Austin Theory, who at this point was somehow in a better position on the card than he is right now. I mean, if you're losing to Jelly Roll at SummerSlam, that's kind of a big fall, isn't it? Despite Austin Theory surviving a first Tombstone piledriver, he doesn't survive a second one, and we win pretty easily. I mean, he put up a decent fight, he got a finisher in, but yeah, we won pretty easily. Much different than 2K19, for damn sure. Rating, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was a good reboot, and I'll always have a special spot in my heart for this game, as it's the one that kickstarted my channel's growth. The final wheel spin of this challenge, and it lands on a good one. WWE All Stars on 7th gen consoles. Now, I'm going to be honest, I didn't care for this game as a kid, so playing it again is going to be kind of interesting. First off, I really like the exaggerated graphics with the character models and stuff, and the moves also look really nice because they're exaggerated as well. It's a really nice aesthetic, and then I realized once I start playing this game, it's actually kind of fun. It reminds me of the TNA game, and it feels more like a refined version of it. So we fought CM Punk. That was our random opponent, and he brought it. He was pretty tough. Or not that tough, but he was okay. He was like fine. But with the super duper Tombstone piledriver, we KO'd the straight edge savior and won the match. Rating, I'm going to lean on an 8.5 out of 10. It's a super fun, underrated game that harkens back to the old arcade days. Probably will go more in depth at a later time, like a retrospective / review of this game, to give it a fair shake. And now we're at WWE 2K23, the previous year's entry that actually isn't that bad. So we decided to play as a retro Undertaker, because why not, you know, have a good time. And our opponent ends up being Damon Kemp, who I don't even know if he's employed or not, still. And this match was really easy because Damon Kemp's overall is like really low, while Undertaker's is really high. Taker's entrance felt like it lasted longer than this match, and we beat Damon in less than 5 minutes with the freaking Tombstone. Awesome. Great. The rating, I give this an 8.75 out of 10. Not quite a 9 out of 10, but I really liked this game, and making content for it was pretty fun, and I didn't have that many issues doing it, unlike the next entry, which we'll get to in a few seconds. The final game in this challenge, WWE 2K24. Our final opponent, hopefully, is none other than Bray Wyatt. What a fitting end, right? My two favorite wrestlers, one of all time and one of the last generation, duking it out to see which one's better. Bray Wyatt, despite not being the Fiend and being his like cheerful self, was a tough son of a bitch. This guy was brutally tough. He survived multiple Tombstone pile drivers and even got cut bad to the point where he was bleeding on the outside. But he kept coming back for more. After surviving a mandible claw from Bray, we countered a Samoan drop into the final Tombstone pile driver for the 3. And with that win, we did it. We beat the challenge. Rating, 8 out of 10. While there are some mild improvements over 23, I can't really rate this game higher due to 2K's greediness with my faction. Is that fair? Maybe not. But my faction is poison to the series, and it hurts my overall feelings of it when it comes to this game. I just can't ignore it because of how greedy 2K has gotten with that mode, and it just, yeah, grosses me out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. With an insane runtime of this video, nearly 50 minutes. At the same time, this was 35 different wrestling games we played. 35 out of like the half of wrestling games Undertaker was in. That's how long he's been around. And 35 different games with their ratings apiece. If you've watched this entire video from beginning to end, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I didn't want it to be super long, but if you do watch it, I hope you enjoy it. And if it does pretty well, then we'll probably actually do more. Let's be real. I already have the next one in my mind. So yeah, thank you for watching, and you know what? Take care, everyone.